Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about how to become the man that every woman craves. Okay, so this video is all about how you can skills and things that you can learn, things that you can adopt into your personality that will make you way more appealing to women than the average guy. Okay, so when you go out on dates with women, when you meet women and they find out about you and they start getting to know you, you're the one that they're going to want to spend their time with, okay? If they're attracted to you. Because what you got to remember is that attraction isn't a choice. So if a woman finds you unattractive, there's not really a lot that you can do to sway her mind about that. But if she is attracted to you, or if she's on the fence about you and kind of thinks you're cute but unsure, then you'll be able to sway those women who are sort of on the fence into liking you. Okay, and of course, those women that do like you will stay liking you. Okay, because one of the things that can happen is a woman may really like you, but you may put her off during the dating process because of your personality traits or the actions that you take or the things that you say and things like that, or your behavior in general. Like, for example, if you have really low self-esteem, a woman is not going to find that attractive if you've got really poor self-esteem and you are behaving in such a way that is making you, let's say, for example, needy. Because if you've got low self-esteem, you're more inclined to be needy, you're more inclined to be very insecure, you're more inclined to keep on asking her, like, do you like me? Because you need that reassurance because your self-esteem is so low. Women don't find that attractive. Even though it is nice to get that reassurance, just if she's still dating you, okay, so if you are struggling with that and you would like those affirmations from women, if she's still dating you, if she's still talking to you, if she's still sleeping with you, if she still wants to hang out with you, basically, you don't need that reassurance because she's there, okay? If she's there, that should be the biggest reassurance that you'll ever need, okay? You don't need to ask her, oh, do you still love me? Do you still like me? Are you still interested? You don't need to ask her those things if she's there. Because if she didn't, she wouldn't be there anymore. Trust me. Okay? So that's just a little tip there to begin with. But let's get into how you can become the man that every woman craves. Okay? So it is very well known, not even in the human kingdom, but in the animal kingdom, that women are attracted to the alpha males, right? The leaders of the pack. And that's what an alpha is. An alpha is simply a leader. He's not necessarily the strongest. He's not necessarily the best looking, but he's the leader, the one that people go to for advice on what to do. Or in the animal kingdom, they look towards the alpha on whether or not they're going to move their pack somewhere else, like or their for example, let's say if it's like chimpanzees, they look to the alpha to if they're going to move where they're living and all these kinds of things. Or they look to the alpha if there's danger, and they look to see if is he worried, is the alpha worried? Because if the alpha's worried, then we should be worried. So in the animal kingdom, this is seen very, very often. Okay, I don't know too much about it, so maybe I made a few mistakes there. So correct me if you're really well knowledgeable in the animal kingdom about alpha behavior. But it's universally true that the females are more attracted to the alpha males, and all you have to do is cultivate the leader within you. Okay, your leadership energy. Now, leadership is very, very simple. All it means is going first. So I've used this example quite recently, a lot recently in my videos. But for example, if you're out with your guy friends and you're wondering what to do, and you're all talking about what you should do next. Let's say you don't know whether or not you should go, which pub you should go to next, which bar. Then just offer a suggestion. Be like, well, there's one, about 3 blocks away. How about we go to that one? That one's really fun. Right, and just be the first one to bring up a suggestion. Now, will everyone follow with that? Maybe some will, maybe some won't like the idea. But what you'll find most of the time is if you just offer that suggestion and it's a fun place, it's a good place, the other friends in your group will more than likely just go along with it, okay? Because then now they don't have to think. They don't have to think of where to go next because you've already done the thinking for them, okay? And another way you can display that is when you are then going to that new place, that bar or restaurant or wherever it is, be leading the group, be at the front of the group. And that's just one simple example of how you can apply that, okay? You can also apply that to work. You're in a meeting, for example. Perhaps you're brainstorming ideas on what to do about a new product or something like that, just taking that as an example. Be the first one to make a suggestion. Like if something pops in your head and you're like, well, that might be a good idea, be the first one to speak up and say, well, how about we do this? Again, the group might not follow. The group might disagree. There might be someone who's also, kind of bossy and wants things to go their way, and maybe they'll try to override your suggestion. Fine, whatever, let it go. But it's the fact that you said something first that's the most important thing. It's not whether or not people go along with it. It's because you said something first. And therefore, if you keep on doing that consistently and you do that every single time, people will then see you as a leader, as someone who has their own initiative and things to that effect. And because if you just do it once, then it's not going to be effective. It's if you do that consistently over time, then people will start to take notice and people will start to see you as a leader. And your bosses and your supervisors, if you're not already one of those yourself, will start to see that too. Okay, they will start to see, oh, this one has their own mind and they're not just going to go along with anything. They like to bring up their own suggestions, and you will be noted for that if your company is a good company and they acknowledge, good performance, rather than just, spending half their day in the, in the break room, right? Because I know there are some companies like that, and I've worked at some companies like that. It's not good, especially when people who are really doing the hard work, who are like the real backbone of the workplace, when they're just disregarded, and the people in higher positions are just, out of the back smoking, just, shooting the shit, basically, right? This is one of those things. Those places do exist, and you might be working in one of those places. But either way, develop that leadership within you, because the women around you, if you're working in a workplace where there's men and women, the women will notice that you always say something first. You always offer a suggestion first. You're showing that leadership energy. And it's all simply because you are going first. You're making a suggestion first. Okay? So take opportunity, right, of that when that happens. And you'll see your world will begin to change if you do it consistently. It's not a once and done thing. You have to do it consistently. Okay? Go first. Now, let's talk about when you're dating a woman. How can you show this leadership energy when you're dating a woman? Well, when you're talking to a woman, first of all, don't just chit-chat online for ages. Take the initiative and make the plans to meet up. Say, hey, well, it's been great talking to you. Let's say you've met on a dating app. It's been great talking to you. I'd really love to meet you in person. When are you free? Okay, and you would be the first one to offer that suggestion to meet up. That's your first key in showing that you're a leader. Second thing you can do, when she says, yeah, it'd be great to see you as well. Okay, yeah, so I'm free this Saturday, I'm free next Sunday. You're like, great, how about we meet next Sunday at this restaurant at this time? So you're saying, you're picking the day, so she said she was free Saturday and Sunday. So you're like, well, okay, let's meet on the Sunday. Let's meet at this restaurant and let's meet at this time. Okay, and it's showing leadership. You're making the plans, you're getting things going, you're getting things set in stone. Okay, and also when you're out on the date, okay, and let's say you two are really enjoying yourself and you're having fun, let's say you might have just met up for a drink, which is a good thing to do on a first date, because then you can leave if you don't like her. You can leave after 45 minutes. Whereas if you go for a sit-down meal, you're kind of stuck for ages, right? But let's say you go out for a drink and then you start talking to her and you're like, oh yeah, she's really fun. And maybe it seems like she really likes you as well. And you're like, great, well, this is awesome. And you're thinking, well, we only just met for a drink, but I really like to keep on talking to her. So it may be that she's saying that as well, like, oh, it's a shame, we should go and do something else now. You're like, yeah, we should. Again, offer the suggestion of where to go. So let's say, like just down the street, there's a really nice restaurant, or there's a park that's really nice, and perhaps there's like a botanical garden or something that you can go into. So just offer just whatever is, available, whatever is good around that area. And it might be a good idea to just, if you're unsure of the area, because it might be that you're meeting up halfway somewhere, if it's a bit of a long distance thing, you might want to look into the area before, like look at Google Maps, you look at what's nearby, and be like, well, how about we go here, and how about we go here now? Let's go to this restaurant, let's go to this park, let's go and look around these shops, just do a bit of window shopping, maybe a bit of people watching too, just just offer that suggestion, like, hey, let's go here. Yeah. And it shows that, again, that leadership energy. So that's one thing that you can begin to cultivate so you can become the man that every woman craves. Because one of the things that will just really annoy a woman is if you make her make the decisions. Okay, so for example, you're just like, okay, so what would you like to do next? And she's like, oh, I don't know. You're like, well, what do you want to do? I don't want to pick the wrong thing. We might you decide, because I want you to have a good time, and I want you to, you decide, love, you just, and she's like, well, I'm not sure. What do you think? Like, I don't know. What do you think? And it just goes on forever. This is if you want to piss off a woman, that's the best way to do it. Right? Just be as indecisive as you possibly can. So if you go out on a date with a woman, right, and you find yourself with a woman that you don't like, okay, and for some reason you can't shake her off, just become really indecisive as hell, because it might be one of those things that actually shakes her off you, right? Okay, but if you like a woman, then do the opposite. Be a leader. Show that you've got leadership energy and you've got that confidence to be like, let's go here now, right? So yeah, just do that. So another thing that a woman really looks for in a man, and she craves this in men, is a man who has direction in life. Okay, so you got to know where you're going in life, right? It could be that you really like your job, you like your position, and that's it. And that's great because you've got direction, you know what you want to do. Okay, it might be that you've got other dreams, you've got other goals. Perhaps you want to be in a different kind of position, perhaps you want a different kind of work line, perhaps you want your 9 to 5 to be your main, you want your side business to be your 9 to 5, and you want to quit your 9 to 5, right? Whatever it is, you've got to have a direction, even if your direction is just simply to just stay in the position that you're in. But as long as you know what it is that you want, okay? So you got to have a direction in life. Because if a woman's like says to you on the date, like, oh, so okay, so like, so what are your dreams? What are your goals in life? She's asking about your direction, and you're like, well, I don't know, I can't, I'm not sure. I've thought about doing like, some sort of like copywriting or crypto, but I don't really know what I'm doing really. It's really unattractive, right? I don't know why I put on that voice, but she's not going to find that appealing. She's going to think, loser, he doesn't know what he wants. Okay, that's what she's going to think. She's going to think, loser, he doesn't know what he wants, he's got no direction, right? Whereas if you're like, well, let's say you just like the job that you're at, you're like, well, you know what, I really love the job that I'm in, and I'm happy where I am, and the pay's good, I'm enjoying the job, and you get really passionate about it. You're like, well, I do this and I do that, and it's amazing. I really love it, And you may think, well, I've got other goals as well. I've got a few fitness goals and stuff like that. But mostly, I just want to continue just nurturing the work that I already do, and I really love that. And that shows direction. Even if you haven't got big goals and dreams, it doesn't matter, because you're in love with the job that you already have and stuff like that. So you don't have to have any aspirations, as long as that's the truth. Because if you hate your job and you're like, well, I really like the job that I'm at, that's not true, isn't it? And when she's with you, she's going to discover that truth when you're like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. Oh, I'm just going to stay home because I don't really want to go because I hate my job. And she's like, well, when we was on the date, you said that you loved your job. What's going on? Right? So you got to have direction, okay? And if you say that you love something, you better love it, because she's going to find out if you're fibbing, okay? So you got to have direction. You got to know what it is that you want. And one of a great exercise that you can do if you're unsure of what you want, and you're like, well, I have no direction whatsoever, everything's just a mess in my life. Put on some inspirational music, music that really does inspire you, and just take like 10 minutes to just listen to that song or that piece of music, and visualize what you would ideally like your life to be, okay? And more than likely, you'll get visions of what you want. You'll be there in your mind's eye, okay? And then you got to take action on that, because that's more than likely the direction that you ultimately want to lead if you think of it on a very soul level. Okay, so you got to have direction in life. So another thing that a woman craves in a man that she really wants to be with, and how you can become that man, is self-mastery. Now, self-mastery is simply not procrastinating. Okay, so if you've got goals, if you've got dreams, don't procrastinate on them. If you've made promises to yourself, don't procrastinate on them. So for example, if you promise that you're going to go to the gym every 3 days, once every, like 3 days a week, okay, and you're going to get up at 5 a.m. and you're going to do that, then stick to it, okay? Don't make promises to yourself if you know in your heart of hearts that you're not going to stick to it. But also, the best way to stick to things is to do them. And there's no other way I can explain it other than that. If you want to develop self-mastery, you know the things that what you should be doing, and you have to do them. And the best way to do those things is to force yourself to do it until it becomes more natural. As a saying, it's like objects that are in motion tend to stay in motion. Okay, so what that means is, in this way, is the moment you go to the gym and you force yourself to get up and go, it's going to be easier for you to do that the next day. It's always the first time is the hardest, okay? And then you just keep on doing that consistently. It can become difficult again if you procrastinate and you stop going for like a couple of weeks. It gets more tricky again, it gets more difficult again. But if you just take that first step and you just go and you just do it, it's going to be much easier the next time around, okay? And if you happen to procrastinate and you don't go for a couple of weeks, again, it's going to be hard to do it, but just force yourself to do it. And I promise the next day is going to be much easier for you to get up and go and do it, okay? So that's what self-mastery is. It's all about just controlling, you know what it is that you want, and just being able to control your body, right? Because your body's going to tell you that you're tired. Your mind's going to tell you that you're tired. And you've got to override that. You've got to get some spirit in there and be like, no, I'm going to override this procrastination and I'm going to do it. I've said that I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to snap myself out of this groggy, like, oh, I'm too hungry, I need this, I need that, I didn't get enough sleep. You override it. You get enough willpower to override it, okay? And you become greater than your body. You become greater than your crappy environment. You become greater than your mind and what your mind is telling you and the excuses. You have to become greater than those things and override them and tell them to shut up. Okay, that's a good thing to say to your brain when it's saying, like, oh, I'm too tired to go to the gym. I'm too tired to work on my book. I'm too tired to go to work. You're like, shut up, I'm going to go, I'm going to do it. Shut up. You're ruining my life, you stupid negative thought. Right, now of course that doesn't mean you cannot rest, obviously. You know, it's a good idea to have balance. But when the balance is too much in the rest and not enough in the self-mastery aspect, that's when women are gonna, you know, if you're with a woman and you're married to one, or she's your girlfriend, she's going to notice these things. She's going to notice your lack of self-mastery, and she's going to stop believing in you. And when she stops believing in you, she's going to stop feeling attracted to you, and she's not going to want to have sex with you anymore. Okay? But if you would like tips on how you can keep the magic alive when you are in a relationship, then you can go and read that actually in my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. Now, this book is primarily a dating book, so if you haven't read it for the dating aspect and how to attract women, then I highly recommend that you do. But there's also a section in there, a chapter in there about keeping the magic alive long term. And also there's a section on breakups too, so you can end a breakup gracefully, and or if you get dumped, you can put yourself in the best possible position to attract your ex back and things like that. So I highly recommend that you go and read the book. You can go and read it completely for free on my website. Just go to www.christinelovridge.com, click on the menu on the book, and it'll take you straight to the PDF reader. The link for the website is down in the description of this video. And also, if you'd like coaching with me, if you feel like you need help with a specific situation, then you can also go to www.christinelovridge.com. Again, link in the description, and just pick whichever coaching option works best for you at this current time. But it's not necessary, because you can just always watch the next video. You can go and read this for free. You don't need to have paid coaching with me. But if you would like to support me in a free way, you can leave a comment down on this video, and also you can leave a like on this video as well. That's just another way that you can support me if you would like to. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.